Rain tapped gently on the cafe windows as Daniel entered, his 7-year-old son Noah clinging tightly to his hand. Noah was quiet, as always. Diagnosed with nonverbal autism at age 3, he hadn't spoken a single word since. Not even, "Dad." Not once. Daniel had stopped hoping to hear it. But he never stopped loving Noah. Every Friday, they came to this quiet corner cafe. It wasn't the food that brought them back, it was Emily, a young waitress with a soft smile and the rare ability to truly see Noah. She never asked why he didn't talk. Never pitied them. Instead, she'd kneel to Noah's level, draw smiley faces on his napkins, and gently teach him signs, fingers tapping lips for "eat," a small wave for "thank you." One day, she introduced a new sign, hand on heart, then pointing to Daniel. "That's for Dad," she whispered with a wink. Daniel smiled politely, not expecting much. But Emily didn't give up. Week after week, she patiently repeated it. "Dad. Dad." Signing, smiling, encouraging. On a rainy afternoon much like today, as Daniel reached for his wallet, he heard a sound, faint, fragile, but clear. "Dad." He froze. Noah looked up at him, eyes wide and proud. "Dad," he said again, louder this time. No sign. Just the word. Daniel dropped to his knees, stunned, tears spilling. The cafe fell silent. Emily gasped, her hands trembling. And in that quiet cafe, something unspoken broke, and something beautiful bloomed. The moment Noah said, "Dad," time slowed. Customers stopped mid-sip, forks hovered above plates, and all eyes turned toward the boy with the quiet eyes and the trembling voice. Daniel couldn't move. His arms wrapped around Noah like he was porcelain, like if he let go, the moment would vanish. "You said it," he whispered. "You said it." Noah smiled, not his usual shy, unsure one, but a full, beaming smile. Emily had both hands over her mouth, tears running down her cheeks. The manager peeked out from the kitchen, confused by the silence, and paused when he saw everyone standing still, watching something sacred unfold. Emily knelt beside them. "You did it, Noah," she said gently. "I knew you could." Daniel looked up at her, words caught in his throat. How did you?" She shook her head. "My younger brother was like Noah. Nonverbal for years. I used to feel helpless. But one day, someone showed me kindness. I've never forgotten what that did for us." She reached out, and Noah hugged her, unprompted. Daniel could barely believe what he was seeing. His son, once locked away in silence, had broken through, and Emily had been the key. "Can I do something for you?" Daniel asked her, his voice cracking. "Anything?" Emily smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Just keep coming back." As the room slowly returned to motion, people began clapping softly. Not out of politeness, but respect. For a moment that would live in that cafe's walls forever. Daniel didn't know it yet, but what happened next would change Emily's life in ways she never imagined. The following Friday, Daniel and Noah returned, but this time, something was different. Noah practically ran to their usual table, carrying a hand-drawn card. Stick figures. Crayon hearts. In big, uneven letters. "Thank you, Miss Emily." Inside, a shaky but proud scrawl, "Love, Noah." Emily knelt beside him, stunned. "You wrote this?" Noah nodded. "Miss Emily." Daniel watched them, his heart full. "He's been trying all week. Practicing your name. Every night." Emily hugged the boy tightly, unable to speak. But it didn't stop there. Daniel pulled out a small envelope and slid it across the table. "This is for you." Emily blinked. "What is it?" "Just open it." Inside was a letter, and a check. Her eyes widened. No, Daniel, this is too much. It's not enough, he said softly. You gave my son a voice. You believed in him when no one else did. I'm just a mechanic. I can't give you the world, but maybe I can help you get closer to your dreams. Emily hesitated, tears blurring her vision. How did you even know? I overheard you talking to the cook last month, he smiled. You wanted to go back to school. Study special education. Help more kids like Noah. She covered her mouth. I didn't think anyone heard that. Well, Daniel said, I did. And now, the world needs more Emilys. For a moment, she sat frozen. Then she stood, turned to the café, and called out, I quit. The manager burst through the back. Emily, what? She laughed, holding the check above her head. I'm going back to school. The café erupted in cheers. Even Noah clapped, his laughter ringing through the air. And just like that, a waitress's kindness had come full circle. Months passed. Emily was no longer balancing trays and menus, she was balancing textbooks and long nights at the local community college. Her days were filled with classes in child psychology, behavioral therapy, and speech development. And every Friday evening, no matter how tired she was, she met Daniel and Noah at the café, now as friends. Noah was blossoming. He could now say simple sentences. I want juice. I love Dad. And always, hi, Miss Emily. They celebrated each milestone together, like a little family stitched together by grace. One evening, as autumn leaves blew past the café windows, Emily arrived wearing her school ID around her neck. Guess what? She beamed. I got an internship at the local therapy center. I start Monday. Daniel stood and hugged her, tightly. You're going to change so many lives. She pulled back and looked at Noah. I just want to help more kids like him. He taught me that sometimes, words aren't everything. Connection is. Noah reached into his backpack and pulled out a drawing, a stick figure woman standing between a smiling boy and a man with a wrench. Emily laughed, wiping away a tear. That's me in the middle, huh? He nodded. My angel, he whispered, clear and sure. Emily gasped. Daniel froze. Noah smiled. You're my angel. Tears welled in her eyes. She turned away, too overwhelmed to speak. That moment became more than a memory. It became a spark. Later that night, Daniel posted the story, just a heartfelt post on social media, thanking a woman who changed their world. He had no idea it would go viral overnight. And by morning, their quiet little story would be heard around the globe. By morning, Daniel's post had over 2 million views. News outlets picked it up. Headlines read: Waitress teaches nonverbal boy to say, Dad, sparks global tears. Real-life angel helps boy speak his first word. Strangers from around the world flooded the comments. I'm sobbing. Emily, you're a hero. My son is nonverbal too. This gives me hope. We need more people like Emily in the world. Emily had no idea until her professor pulled her aside that afternoon. You're famous, he chuckled, handing her a tablet. She blinked at the screen, scrolling through the thousands of comments. This can't be real. But it was. And it wasn't just praise. It was offers. Scholarships. Donations. Internship requests. Even a TV interview. Daniel and Noah stood proudly behind her as she was invited to speak at a child development summit in London. Noah clung to her hand, beaming. When she walked on stage, she didn't wear fancy clothes or makeup. Just her café apron, folded in her hand like a flag. I was just a waitress, she began, voice steady. I didn't cure autism. I didn't do anything extraordinary. I just saw a child, and chose not to look away. The crowd stood. Not out of obligation, but reverence. Back home, the cafe framed a picture of her, Daniel, and Noah near the counter. Underneath, it read, "Kindness doesn't need a degree. Just a heart." That night, as Emily packed for her first trip overseas, Daniel stopped by to wish her luck. He handed her a small box. Inside, a simple necklace with a single charm, a tiny angel wing. "For our angel," he said softly. "Thank you." But Emily shook her head. "No. Thank Noah. He taught me how to listen."